My name is Ron Saunders Jr. This is the Shorts Collaborative. Back with Cynthia DA. I wanted to ask you, what is your perspective as a Black filmmaker and or a woman filmmaker, and how that jives with diversity within the film world?
Okay, so let's start with being a Black person.
I could identify.
Right.
Let's go with
Yeah,
that.
let's start with that.
All right.
I've had some pretty interesting experiences where it comes to, race, being a Black person in the industry. Over less than a year ago, I had to quit a job in Los Angeles because, my former boss, not to put anyone on blast, would, say all these incendiary things about, race, and just like things like, what's wrong with being a white savior? I'm white and I want to help people, like things like that. It's just like, first of all, that's not a white savior. That is too simplistic an understanding of what a white savior is. Let's start with that. Secondly, right?
That's deep. No, it's deep. I haven't heard that, man.
Yeah, but these are things that my former boss would just say without batting an eye. He would just say things like, and I'm supposed to take it. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to just sit there and smile, and it's all good.
That's uncomfortable.
You know what I mean?
That's uncomfortable.
There are several ways that people enact violence against marginalized groups every day. So just verbal violence, and I was just taking it for months, and I just had enough. And I quit, and I moved out to Atlanta, where I didn't know anyone in Atlanta before moving out here. I hadn't stepped foot in Atlanta before moving out here. I just came in, and to be honest, it hasn't been easy. The journey since then hasn't been easy, but it's been one of the best decisions of my adult life. So that's just a short story. I was just in a hostile work environment, just a lot of microaggressions, just things, just little things here and there. They'd say, we were in discussions talking about creating a TV show once, and I think this TV show was supposed to be shot on a former plantation somewhere, like a place that actually used to host like during the slave era. And dude says,
right,
it would be interesting to go to those plantations. And I'm like, for me, that's not interesting. That's traumatic. You know what I mean?
And it is.
Right.
It is. A couple of things come to my mind when you spoke. And interesting perspective as you being in a subordinate position underneath a boss and having his oral diarrhea, whatever he wanted to spill out, infect your area. I was on a set. I was DPing a short film in LA, and there was a guy who was really integral to the production. He was gaffing. He was my camera assistant. He was really fantastic. I love this guy, and I learned a lot from my camera assistant working on that shoot with him. He was Black, mixed, and he could pass as if he was not.
Yeah, he was white passing.
That's how fair that's as fair as he was. And his features were very European in ways. So I honestly didn't believe he was Black. And he would drop the N-word. And I was like, whoa, like, hold on. I was like, whoa, at first. And he was like, no, I'm Black. And I'm like, okay. He literally pulled out his phone and started pulling out pictures of his family to prove to me that he was Black. However, had he not done so, nobody on set would have known that he was Black. And then he continued to drop jokes that were for not for everybody.
Just like
and the problem I had with it was everybody else on the set was not Black. So the jokes that you're joking weren't for
that audience.
Them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you were dropping these jokes, and it was uncomfortable for me. Now, he was not in a leadership position. He was in a different position, and he used that type of comedy to make him more acceptable or to ingratiate him. And they laughed at these jokes.
Yeah.
So different perspectives about race and diversity. It's very interesting to see how people maneuver through.
Navigate. Yeah.
These
Yeah.
waters. I had an opportunity to work at a production house, and they saw my reel of work. They saw my resume, gave me a call back. We were supposed to do an interview. My name is Ron Saunders Jr. Uh, People may not assume that I'm black because of that.
Yeah. Ronald Saunders. Yeah.
As soon as I got on the phone
Yeah.
with him, and I guess he could identify my nationality through my
Yeah.
speaking pattern.
Yeah. Your cadence.
We'll go with that.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Um, he said, you know what? I don't feel like this is going to be a good fit for our workplace,
Wow.
and we're not even going to have the interview. So interesting.
Yeah.
It is interesting. It's interesting how that would happen.
Right.
And for me, what that encouraged me to do was to be in control of my own destiny, be an independent
Definitely.
filmmaker, and it also, at the same time, was very eye opening to LA as a space. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a film space. It is the film world.
For sure.
But it has barriers. It has certain things that are established, and there isn't I don't know that many black DPs that have won Oscars. I don't know that many black directors that have won
Right.
Oscars. There is the trending from a few years ago, the Oscars oh so white. So there is a perception that there is some, you have to really go through some extremes to make it in that
Definitely.
space. I got a lot of independent work in films in LA when Barack Obama was president. As soon as his successor took office, I stopped getting any independent film work. The whole culture changed, and I felt it changed. And at the end of the day, I'm okay because I'd rather be aware of what is best for me to create from. So for me, a safe space to feel like I can be a creative is much more valuable to my process than to be in a place that I think I'm supposed to be in, because this is where everything is happening and I have to just endure whatever is taking place. And I'd rather be around people that want to work with me and use my skills and abilities than to be considered about whether or not I'm viable because of whatever outward appearance or thing that they may see.
There's something empowering, first demoralizing, and then empowering about that realization. It's like you said, right? Like, you sort of like, you're okay knowing what it is. It makes you take the reins of your own life and decide that I refuse to continue to accept what people say I am, and then making that decision and taking control of my own destiny and saying, now I want to create the life that I want for myself. I want to, establish who I know I am. As opposed to who they have said, whatever script they've written for me, this is your path. I'm like, screw that. I know what my path is, and I'm going to pursue that path.